What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Deck Doctor. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Just keep in mind, if you're a channel member at the highest level, this is a perk that's available. You can send me a list, and I will do one of these episodes on them. Today, we're going to be playing a list that was sent to me the other day. It's kind of like a combination of the Diva Hero Spacian and the Cat Neospatian, so trying to like fit these things together in some sort of turbo pile. So this was the exact list that was sent to me, I believe. Obviously, we're going to play it card for card before we get into making changes, but right off the bat, I see a lot of changes that I would definitely make to this list, and I'm sure a lot of you do as well, but we're going to get into that later. For now, we're just going to play it as is, so it's pretty self-explanatory list we got here. They're on the cat stuff, the Spacians. They're on these five. They're on 2 Diva, 1 Gilman, which kind of weird that this ratio has come up twice actually in the past week or so. Super odd. Diamond Dude with, I guess there's a lot of normal spells in here, and then the 4 good traps. So I can kind of get behind part of the idea, but obviously there are some card choices that I'm going to switch up, so we're going to get to that in part 2 of the episode. But first, we're just going to go duel with this. We just have replay reviews here for these matches real quick. So first match, I actually opened a really decent hand. I mean, kind of insane with the D-draw Mally. You don't see that too often in Edison format, and I just decided to pass here. But the opponent just like hard turn 1 OTKs me with the absolute, like, they have the Gear Town Fortress plus Gear Frame plus limiter removal. So, like, the crazy 5-card combo just randomly kills me out of nowhere. I think that was an insane hand I actually had there. Maybe I could have set the Torrential instead of greeting the Heavy Storm. But, yeah. We get Dust Shooted, and we Dust Shoot him back this game. And his hand just sucks because, I don't know, this deck's playing a lot of weird cards like Solidarity and Limiter Removal that just don't do anything by themselves. So, yeah. We are going to make a Catastor here. We're going to hit over. And, okay, he redraws the Driller that he forgot to shuffle. But he's just bricked on stuff, and we're in a pretty good spot. We go MST, we go Cat, and he just scoops it up in that game. Game 3, I think, do we get Dust Shooted again? No, wait. We opened a dead Dust Shoot, and he just starts going off on me. Oh my god, is the replay broken? Well, whatever. Like, he just, like, summons Beast or something and Gadgetron and sets Bottomless, and then I forget what I did. I think I just like tried to make some play and didn't work out, and I pretty much just lost from that position. So, damn, these replays, I swear they're breaking more and more recently. That's so annoying. I mean, this game lasted like 1 turn. Like, I think I drew Monk for turn, and then I went for Monk Cat, and he just had Bottomless, and I just said, okay, you win for that position. So that's basically what happened in that game. But I didn't expect to draw as well as I did in some of these in some of these duels. I think we did end up with some kind of above average hands, but it ultimately doesn't end up working out in this match versus like Machine Aggro, whatever this is. So that is the match with the version of the list that was sent to me. Okay, so now it is time to begin actually editing the deck. The first major issue is that match we didn't have Cyber Dragon, and it was real bad. So I think the sides got to change. The extras also going to have to change because we're going to need room for Fortress. So I think we should also probably play Dark End. So this should come out, and then let me think. We need space for Dark End and Fortress Dragon. So Fortress goes in. Dark End's gonna go in. What do we cut for Dark End? Huh. I don't know. It's like kind of need all of these, don't we? Yeah, but if you're gonna play Mally Diva, I feel like it's kind of necessary. Maybe we'll work on the main and we'll come back to it. So Cyber Dragon just needs to go in the side. You don't need multiple limbs. This deck already has a pretty good matchup against a limb. Cyber Dragon might even need to go in the main. Speaking of the main, I think D-Draw Diamond Dude is a total meme. It shouldn't be in there. Book of Moon just seems like a weird random one-off, so I'm not sure I'm a fan of that either. Sark, same deal. Snowman, we can't really fit that in. We're playing more of a turbo version. And then I think we can go Turbellum. And also, if we're playing cat stuff, Mind Control should be in the main. I considered it, and I think Cold Wave probably we can just not play. Maybe we can side that card actually instead of Dust Tornado. We can side this. That seems fine. And then probably cut a Super Poly while we're at it. And just go triple Snowman Eater. That makes sense. As for this, yeah, I mentioned earlier we should just play Dark Arm Dragon and like, what's his face? Chaos Sorcerer, along with Glow Moss, probably Alias, to help with the Glow Moss. And then, let's see, cut you. Then we should play the Cross Porter Armageddon thing, because I think that's part of the big. It's a big part of the synergy between the Diva Hero and the Neospatians. So play those two. And then I think we need Plague if we're gonna play. Well, we can maybe get away with not playing Plague actually. So let's just look at what this gives us. Let's take out the Gilman and just go double Diva for now. So this gives us this. Do we want to go up to triple Avarice? Maybe. Maybe we want to fit in Upstarts, though. No, wait. I think we could go, like, Upstarts and just play Treacherous Trapple or something with Tragodia and Cyber Dragon, maybe. Let me think about that, actually. So if we wanted to just go crazy with the draw power and play Upstart, it is a consideration. Hold on, Avarice. So I'll just take all these out and then play Treacherous plus Tragodia. So how does this look? We got Gore's Trag. So we put the Divas here. Oh, I think Sangan should probably be in the deck, huh? Yeah, maybe with this turbo version we don't need it. Maybe it's just too slow, actually. So we could try out this. And I think we should side the trap cards, though. So Dust Shoot. Oops. Dust Shoot, Mind Crush, Solemn Mirror. Does that seem right? Oh, Torrential. And then we still need to fit that pesky Dark End into the extra deck, right? How are we going to do that? We took out the Gilman, so maybe we can just play one level 5 and play Dark End. Oh, you know what? I think we can't really go. We need double Panther in here. Is there anything I can cut? We can cut like maybe the Gore's Trag. Let me think about that. We could cut just the Gores and keep the Trag. That's cursed. We could also cut Alias. No, I don't think we can afford to cut Alias because we want that Sork, right? How are we gonna do it? We could just not play Treacherous, but then it's like, why are we on one trap card? I need to find a monster that we can take out. We could just take out both of these. We could just like full commit, just like turbo, you know? In which case we would need one more though. We should probably like side the Gore's Trag. Just take out like Snowman Eaters and play a third DD Crow or something. We could play the Cold Wave in the main, which maybe is a good idea. If we're just like full just like turbo version, then we're gonna want to have it to force through our cat plays, right? So that kind of makes sense. And yeah, let's just do double Snowman Eater. All right, we can try something like this. I feel like this would be fun. let's save our deck and let's hop into a match with this like crazy version of the build. Okay, here's the match with my refined, I guess, version of the list, and I feel really bad about this because I think I punted game number 1 super hard, and you're gonna see why. But it was just like multiple levels of dumb going on. So I go summon Alias. I feel like this is a good play because they're not gonna want to bottomless or deprison it, thinking that it might be Hero Beat It, it might be Spark, having no info. They do have the Greffer into the value guy, into the hit over. So unfortunate. We just need a lot of these hands are just like we need one card to turn this, and this is the turn where I think I really punted. So I decided to get the Aqua Dolphin, which I think was correct because it turns on Contact and Miracle by itself, and we just have to go for the YOLO Black Rose. But then the YOLO Black Rose actually works out. But I make this weird play where it's like I either should have mallied now, or realistically I should have just not mallied this turn because I draw into a Deep Sea Diva. So I could have just held this Malicious, but I instead decided to do it so I don't draw it off Pot of Avarice. And this was just a complete throw. And I would have had a crazy play next turn if I just kept the Mally. It's like, yeah, it was just completely dumb. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I think that was the big throw this game, honestly. So because I have this Cold Wave, I'm just resolving all my draw cards so I don't have to do it next turn. And then I figure, well, we should just make him have heavy, but then he has heavy, and if I just held back this Treacherous, I probably also could have won, so I don't know, some throwy plays going on here. I do get kind of screwed over in the late game with some crappy draws, which, I mean, it's kind of something that happens in these sort of turbo decks where you see the right combinations of cards, but I actually could have, like, won this one still. This game is still winnable for me from this position, because we have that Contact live, but we just draw into another dead Contact and an Airbellum. Like, even with 2 Arabellums, I'm drawing the Arabellum too much. But the opponent just has a bunch of back row. And we're kind of in a fine spot here. But if I had Miracled here, I wouldn't have randomly died. But I figure like the only way I die is if he draws a way to tribute the card that I've pretty much read his value. But then he does, so we're now just randomly dead to that. So I don't know. We shouldn't have been in that position whatsoever, though. I should have just saved that Mally. And if I had drawn it, I guess it could have happened, but I think we'd have been much better off if we just held on to it and had that Diva Mally play for the next turn, and probably could have won that game. Or even if I just played around Storm instead of greeting my Treacherous too, probably could have won because he was like low on cards too. There's no reason to just set it there. We're at an advantage, so I don't really know what I was thinking. Here we go for the I think this is an OTK. I don't know if it's quite an OTK actually. Let me do the math. Oh yeah, it is an OTK. It's like 81, the classic Diva Hero OTK. But he's the Crow to stop it, so he's just going to take a bunch of damage instead. He does have an Allure, which he's held on to, so he uses it, gets rid of the Plague, sets. I just go for this. I've got the Avarice to like kind of recover if he can out my stuff. I figure worst case scenario is Hamster, and then it's Hamster, so, it is what it is. He's going to pop my abs, but we pretty much can't lose this game, right? We've got this Avarice set up. We've got this Brain Control to just one-shot the opponent whenever we need to. He stacks, goes for the Caius, hits, which is actually good because now I can resolve this Avarice. And we, against all the odds, do not draw a monster. I do decide to use the Upstart Goblin. I could have waited, but I feel like we just got to go for it here. So that's what we do. We have the Brain Control. We're going to win this game. So we're pretty much never losing that game number 2. We kind of had everything. Really, it's just game number 1 that I think threw this match. And game 3, we get dust shooted, so, I mean, it's not too good. He takes the wrong card, fortunately, for me. So we can, like, have a shot to do something. I go for the Monk play. Actually, how did I lose this game? I'm really wondering now. I think we just drew a bunch of dead cards or something off this Avarice and for turn, a couple turns in a row. Yeah, I think that's what happens. He just, like, makes Brionac, and then I just draw dead for, like, a bunch of turns. Like, I draw dead off the Contact, and then I draw dead like 2 turns in a row after the Contact too. So I just draw like 4 cards that don't do anything. Which maybe if we'd had our grave a little more set up, we'd have been in a better spot. But we draw into this, and then we just draw into like Miracles twice, and we don't have a way to get this Mally engrave. So game 3 maybe a bit of bad luck, but game 1 we kind of punted. So I think we sort of deserve to lose this match regardless. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate luck there in game number 3, but like I said, my absolute idiot play cost us game number 1 in all likelihood, so we had it coming. Anyway, Okay, my final thoughts on this deck. I'm a little bit conflicted on the Cold Wave. It stops you from like resolving all your draw cards, but on the other hand, I think the plan is kind of just you use all your draw cards to like get your play, and then you can just like Cold Wave do it next turn. But then it also like doesn't let you Miracle after, so it's a little bit weird in here. I really think that maybe you should swap it up for Giant Trunade. Actually, like in hindsight, I should probably just be Giant Trunade. In fact, we can just do that right now. Like, why am I not just playing Giant Trunade instead of Cold Wave? That was a stupid oversight. And then also, I'm not sure how to do it, but I feel like it would be good to squeeze Gilman in. But then you're playing even more bricks at that point, so it's like it's hard to say. I felt like Gilman was good, but then you're also forced to like play the Android and stuff too, and you're extra, and you got to figure out what to cut there. So I don't really know about that. In general, my conclusion for this episode of Deck Doctor is the same as the last one, which is that there's just kind of too much going on in this build. Like, I think if you go one or the other on these turbo decks, you're actually like dealing with a pretty solid build. I've always defended my Neospatian Diva Hero build, and I think the Cat one is definitely solid as well. They're not like crazy or overpowered or tier 1 or like Dragon Turbo level or anything, but I think they're decent. I think you could do well with them if you practiced and didn't play as poorly as I did in that last game number 1. But yeah, overall, this particular build is a little too cluttered, in my opinion, and that's kind of just how it works with deck building. You gotta test and experiment with a lot of things. That being said, this is just a short little episode where I mess around for like an hour or whatever. So there could be future innovations or changes made to maybe make it better. That's about going to wrap this one up. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, become a channel member, especially if you would like to be featured on one of these episodes. The Obelisk Blue higher tier channel members have access to this perk. And I will see you next time. Peace out.